absolute geniuses. Here we are, in a world that's hanging by a thread, and yet, the one thing that still manages to unite the masses is the annual train wreck we call Eurovision. It's like a slow-motion car crash that everyone insists on watching. As for the people who voted this year, well, congrats. You've earned yourselves a permanent spot in the "What the hell were you thinking?" Hall of Fame. But hey, freedom of speech, right? Everyone's entitled to be an idiot, and I'll respect your stunning opinions as long as you respect mine, though, let's be real, that's probably asking too much. The end of the world is apparently on the horizon, but who cares when you've got such a vibrant display of talent and taste? Huh! Oh, and guess what? Eurovision 2025, hosted in Switzerland, Basel, it's a thing, might just be the last one. Let that sink in. The last one. If this is it, we can all go out knowing the world ended with a giant musical dumpster fire. So let's talk about the garbage truck that pulled into this year's Eurovision. Where to even start? Ukraine's entry. Oh, good lord. Some guy with a hairdo that looked like he was trying to start a new trend called Bird's Nest Chic. His song was called Birds of Prey, which of course must mean he has a deep and profound love for birds? Whatever. If he loves birds so much, maybe he should start wearing them as accessories. Also, what's the deal with his hair? If he's not going for a bird's nest, he's definitely going for the "I just woke up under a pile of leaves" look. Maybe he should have used actual birds, as hair gel would have been more appropriate. And then there's the UK, whose singers look like the worst Disney princess cosplay you've ever seen. It's like someone told them to dress up as Cinderella. If she'd just been kicked out of the ball and was now performing at an underground emo club. Yikes. Then there is the band from Lithuania. Their lead singer looks like he could be the twin brother of the killer from Murder by Numbers, the one with Sandra Bullock. You know, the one who looks like he's perpetually scheming in his basement, plotting something dark and twisted. Seriously, if you squint hard enough, you'd swear he's the long-lost sibling of that guy. Except instead of committing murder, he's performing on a stage. The vibe? Total obsessive stalker. And don't even get me started on the lyrics. They keep talking about someone's eyes. Is this an attempt at art or an obsessive killer's manifesto? Either way, it's giving major. I'm one therapy session away from a felony vibes. And Claude from the Netherlands, singing C'est la vie, dude, you're Dutch. Sing in Dutch. It's not that hard. I get it, you love French. But you know what? Move to Paris and see how well that works out for you. I'm pretty sure you're the love child of Candyman and Grace Jones, and it shows. Gojo, or should I say No Joe, was absolutely no better. The artist representing Australia this year? Oh please, I'm not crying that he didn't make it to the grand final like Electric Fields did last year. Honestly, we dodged a bullet. Maybe if he'd shown up dressed as a milkshake, at least we'd have had something worth chuckling about. Now that would have been a performance. Instead, we got whatever that was. But hey, let's just blame it on Australia's visionary approach to music, right? Maria Conti, let's just say, if you love Kant so much, you should start your own business. Maybe call it Kant's Corner, where you serve whatever nonsense you're really into. I don't know, man. But the real tragedy, some actual, decent singers, who probably spent years perfecting their craft, didn't even make it to the grand final. Why? Because everyone was too busy voting for, well, whatever the hell Erika Vikman is. I mean, ich komme. Are you seriously voting for this filth? It's not just bad, it's borderline obscene. Yet here we are, glorifying trash. Let's rewind to Serbia last year. Remember Teodora with Ramonda? She was raw, fresh, and actually had a future in the music industry. This year, they sent a guy with a decent enough voice, but guess what? Fans trashed him for being too traditional. But you know what people did vote for? Ich come, an actual sexual innuendo masquerading as a song. Why? It's embarrassing. And the people who voted for that trash? You should be ashamed of yourselves. And don't even get me started on poor old Slavko from 2017. Yeah, the guy was a walking meme, but at least he was funny. He gave us Slavko Slavkopter. Erika Vikman gives us nothing but pure, unadulterated filth. But sure, she's art in 2025. Whatever. Let's throw real talent aside to give room to some wannabe freak show. And let's not forget Nina Zizik, Prink, and Azerbaijan's band. They deserve a hell of a lot better than some of the absolute travesties that made it to the semifinals. But no, we had to make space for Malta, Finland, and Latvia. Yeah, totally makes sense. So, in short, the entire voting process is broken, and it's a breathtaking disaster. But hey, it's all just my humble opinion. You probably don't care, but let's be honest, it's hard to care when you're too busy watching the slow, painful death of cultural taste. My top 8 for Eurovision 2025 would have been Poland, Greece, Albania, France, Denmark, San Marino, Germany, Italy. And then there's Nemo, last year's winner, who somehow ended up looking like a post-apocalyptic stripper in the grand final. What happened to cool, confident Nemo? He should have swung in like Sia and Chandelier, dramatic, extravagant, full of chaos and art. Instead, he came out looking like Edna from The Incredibles, but you know, if Edna had been a psycho prostitute auditioning for a low-budget horror flick. What a disaster. I don't even want to know what went wrong, but it's clear. He disappeared faster than the credibility of Eurovision itself. And let's talk about JJ from Austria, who, spoiler alert, is a transgender man. He can't even sing, but somehow managed to crawl to the top like a broken toy that's somehow still ticking. You know what this means, right? If the Eurovision gods are merciful enough to give us another year of this utter train wreck, we're probably going to see Nemo and JJ walk down the aisle, right in the middle of next year's grand final. That's right, folks. Eurovision's very own non-binary power couple, who will somehow manage to set the bar even lower than it already is. Honestly, I can already see it. JJ will be hitting those high notes like they're on the run from a wailing siren, and Nemo will look like the bride, who's also an accidental street performer. And you know what? It'll probably be amazing. In the same way a dumpster fire is amazing to watch, it's a spectacle. But mark my words, next year, they'll be the couple everyone's watching, and we'll all be in agony, praying for the world to end before the performance starts. And then there's Klemen from Slovenia. The guy had a decent song, but whatever. Like he said, how much time do we have left? Newsflash, not much. So when the shit hits the fan, don't expect to hear Survivor from Armenia. Instead, we'll probably all be too busy choking on our own despair, while the Nemo and JJ show destroys any remaining shred of dignity we have left. It's going to be a spectacle, alright, like watching a train wreck, but somehow worse. At least the train wreck doesn't sing. So, while you're basking in the glory of that future, remember one thing. When the apocalypse finally arrives, don't expect to hear Survivor from Armenia. You'll probably be too busy clutching your face in horror as Nemo and JJ share a tearful, off-key duet. And if this is the last Eurovision ever, at least we're all going out with a bang. And for those of you who voted for Austria, well, enjoy sitting with your shame in the audience of history's greatest tragedy.
Si dobro, gdje su sad svi čisti pred Bogom, ko da su njemi, stoje bez riječi, oni što tu su u zlu i u sreći, lica su im crvena, tugom krpljena, a ko mi je kriv? Nasmi se, izdrži sve, proći će, izdrži sve, proći će, nasmi se. Proći će, nasmi se, izdrži sve, nestaće brzo kada će. Dobro došli meni vi u hotel mojih slabosti. Dobro došli meni svi na predstavu o ljubavi.
što volim te ja, mila, život vratila sa ruba. Ima mnogo razloga da ipak voliš drugoga, tako mi je stalo da te čuvam.
Thank